All right. We're back now. In this here section, we are now about to set ourselves up where we are going to do our add roles and features, where we are now going to install and deploy Active Directory. On the last go around, we did everything to set up our infrastructure. So everything is connected, everything is pinging according to plan, everything is in its rightful place. So now all we have to do is bring on the rest of the goodies. So we are here. Go into your server manager and you are going to go to add roles and features. So we're going to click this and go ahead, go to next. Role-based features, role-based or feature-based installation. Click next, and we got everything. And everything is set up through our domain controller DC1. So you go ahead, click next. And when we get here to roles, with everything listed here, we're going to click Active Directory Domain and Services. So check that. And then when we say add features, yes, include management tools, we're going to go ahead and add that. And we're going to click next. And we're going to go ahead and, yeah, everything looks good in here. So we're going to go ahead and click next. And everything is looking fantastic. So click next. And yes, do check the restart, because everything is going to restart automatically. That way, everything will be configured, and DC1 will officially be our domain controller. So go ahead and click install, and we're going to let this thing do what it's come to do. And this should not take long. And we have success. So everything is installed. So go ahead and we're going to close this. And now for the next part in this here installation, we're going to come back over here to our flag where we got a notification. So we are now at the post deployment stage in configuration. So only thing we're going to promote this server to a domain controller. So we're going to click this, and we are now going to set our domain. So this is going to be, we're going to add a new forest, excuse me. So this is going to be our root here, and we're going to put this as mydomain.com. And we're going to click next. And in here, we're going to, and this is going to come into play later. So you're going to put in this password, capital P, ASSWRD, and the number one, password one, and type that in again, capital P, ASSWRD, and the number one. Everything for the sake of this here lab. And we're going to click next. And we're going to uncheck this because our DNS has already been set. So we're going to click next. And we're going to let this run. All right. Everything is set in here. We're going to click next. All right. Everything is set to where everything needs to land. So we click next here. And now we're going to do everything to review and make sure our prerequisites fall into place. Our prerequisites are now in place. They have checked. And so all we got to do is click install. And after this installation, DC1 is going to sign out, and we're going to restart this automatic. Well, not automatically, but it's going to restart. And so we're going to log in. And when we do log in, we're going to log in under the mydomain.com setup. Or should I say forest? So give this a couple more minutes, and DC1 is going to restart. right, giving this a couple more minutes. Couple more minutes. And we will be on to the next step. Alrighty. The one thing that we learn through these labs is patience. All right. Let's close this. Okay. Oh, there we go. I was about to say, we're supposed to be restarting right about now. All right. So now that we are back here, we are going to go back into our domain controller and we're going to sign back in. All right, giving this, there we go. So we're going to change this to more choices and we're going to use a different, and this is going to be mydomain.com. Fact, I need to give you all a screen so you can see exactly what it is that I'm doing. So let me give you a screen. Remote desktop. Let's go here. Go to sources, window capture. And we're going to do remote test. Edit this. Let's go here. And bam. And no, that's not what we need. We're going to go ahead and get that out of here. Okay, let me give you a new screen. And you get to see exactly what's going on here. So I won't be having you in the dark. And we go. This is going to be mydomain.com. And the password, of course, CyberLab. 123 exclamation point. Oh, my fault. Okay, we got to do that again, y'all. I'm so sorry. Let's try that again. Let's go mydomain.com. We did that all kinds of wrong. /lab user. And now we should be good to go. So now we are back into DC1. Yes, we now have connection, and DC1 is now set up as our domain controller. All right. And from here, we're going to be going to our next phase where we will be setting up our, I believe we'll be going to and setting up our folders. So the next phase, we will now be going to setting up our folders where we'll now be going into Active Directory itself. So what you're going to do is we're going to open our Windows and we're going to go to our Windows administrative tools. So go here and we're going to go down to Active Directory users and computers. Click that open and we are now within our Active Directory here. And so we're going to be set up right here in mydomain.com. And everything should be, if you scroll down, all these built-ins, and you will see our DC1 inside of domain controllers. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up new organizational units. So we're going to right click and we're going to scroll down to new, and we're going to come down here to organizational units. So we're going to click that open, and we're going to do it just like this. We're going to create a folder for our employees. So you're going to go here and put underscore employees, and right click again. We're going to set up another organizational unit, and this one is going to be for our admins. So you're going to go underscore admins. And so we have our admins folder already established as well. And from here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to create. Let's go ahead and get a refresh right here. Because so everything will be lined up. Everything will be in its rightful order. So from here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to create our admin. Excuse me. All right, here we go. Now we're going to go ahead. Now that I found my spot, we're going to go ahead and create our new user. So we're going to go to admins. We're going to right click. We're going to come down here to new user. And this is going to be our user, the one and only Miss Jane Brown. And her name, Jane underscore admin. And we're going to click next on here. And give her the password, and her password never expires. So, okay. So everything for the sake of this lab, we know we're not going to be doing this in regular every day. So for the sake of this lab, Jane's password never expires. So we're going to click next, and we're going to finish. And so Jane Brown has been created. So the next step is we're going to make her an admin, a total admin over this here whole thing. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to right click, and we're going to go to properties, and we're going to make Jane Brown member of, we see domain users. And so we're going to add her to our group known as domain. Okay, everyone. Now, I believe I made a misstep in recording, but I will show you exactly what has been done. In this section, we have created our folders, of course, our employees folder and our admins folder. And within our admins, we created a new user, which is Jane Brown. And so what we did here when we created Jane Brown, when we went into admins, we went in, we right clicked, and we went down and we created a new user, and we created Jane Brown's name and gave her a password. From that step forward, we went and we made Jane a member of the group domain users. So she will be the main one of, or if not for the sake of this lab, the main domain admin for everything in this lab. So we went to properties, and we went into member of, and we went in and we searched. She's already part of domain users. This time we made her the main admin for everything. So we looked and we found, and we searched for domain admins, and then we just added her into this here said group. And so now let's go ahead and get a quick refresh, and we see everything that we have here. So when we click admins, you see Jane Brown's name right here. And also, as we stated, our employees folder is not going to come into play until we get ready to run our script, when we create all of the random users that will be on the domain controller. So from this point here, I believe the next thing on for us is that we are now going to join client 1 as the regular local admin. And then we're going to set client one to be able to be joined into the domain controller. Okay. Before I skip to that step, because I know I was about to skip a step, before we go into client one, we must first sign out of DC1 and sign back in under Jane admin. So what we're going to do from here is we're going to go ahead and go from here. We're going to go up and we're going to sign out of, we're going to decide we could do it from here, sign out of lab user, or you could right click and select run and select log off. And this is going to take us out of DC1. And now we get to go. What we're going to do now is we are going to go right back in to DC1. So what we're going to do now is just go ahead and pull back up a remote desktop, and we're going to go back into DC1. We're going to go back into, we're going to go back into DC1, and we're going to change to a new account. Let's see, my domain com / Jane _admin 1 2 3 and exclamation point. And let's see here. All right, we should be good to go from here. And I believe, yes, we are back. Let me get a screen here going on so you can see exactly what I'm doing here. Let's see. I think I might have got the wrong screen. Let's see. I think, no. Let's see. No, this should be client one. And this should be DC1. Let me get you a screen here. And let's add a window here. And let's see. There we go. All right, this one we can do without. All right. We are now back in DC1. And DC1 is now set up. And so now the next step is we're now going to join our client one to our domain controller. So before I go there, let me go ahead and I'm going to open up Active Directory computers and users. We're going to open that back up again. Yes, everything is here. So we're now going to go back to our client one. And we are now going to go ahead and join this to our domain controller. So what that requires us to do, we're going to go here, and I believe we're going to go to system. Yes, we're going to go to system, and we're going to scroll down to, I want to say it's rename. Yes, rename this PC Advanced. And so we're going to go here, and we're going to go to change, we got client one, and then we're going to change domain, and we're going to put in here mydomain.com. Bam. And everything is going to be set up through client one. And Jane Brown or Jane Admin is going to be over top of all of this within the domain controller. So we're going to apply her name here. So mydomain.com/Jane_admin, and the password cyberlab 123 and exclamation point. And we're going to click OK. And I believe everything is set and ready. So we can say OK. That's going to require us to, so we're going to go ahead and close this. And we are going to go ahead and restart client one. And from here, I believe we're going to sign back in. Make sure my notes is telling me where I need to go. I believe we are going to sign back in under Jane Admin. Yes. But before we do that, we're going to go back to DC1, and we're going to show that client one is here. So let us do a refresh. We're also, before we do that, we're also going to add our new organizational unit, which is going to be underscore clients. Oh Lord. And we have our clients folder here. We're going to go ahead and give ourselves a refresh on that. And as we scroll down, we see client one is here. We're going to take client one, and we're going to go ahead and click and drag and add that right here into this folder. And yes, we're going to go ahead and get a good refresh one more time. And so everything is here. We got our admin, Jane Brown, our client one computer. Our employees folder is about to come into play in moments as we get ready to run our script. And I believe we're about to set up to go in, log back into client one. Okay, here we are. We are back here. We're now going to go ahead and we're going to remote desktop back into, client one. So what we're going to do is we're going to slide back here. We're going to slide back here to our Azure portal. We're going to slide back here, and we are going to grab client one's, because I forgot to do it, or keep it locked in. We're going to slide back in here. We're going to grab client one's public IP address. So we go back inside client one, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to just click copy. And we're going to go back here to our remote desk setup here. Okay, delete that, whatever that was. We're going to paste it in. And this time around, we're going to connect with Jane Admin. So different account. We're going to go mydomain.com/Jane_admin. And let's see if I can get this on screen here. And let's see. This is DC1. I got so much stuff going on right about now. Let's see if we can add. Let's go. Windows. Let's see, remote. And remote desktop connection here. Nope, not that one. This one. And okay. And expand this here. And let's log back into this right here. CyberLab. 123 and exclamation point. And let's go ahead and get ourselves logged back into client one under Jane_admin. And give us a second to load, and I believe we will be good to go again. As it loads everything in its directories. All right, just a couple more seconds. And I believe, yes, we are good to go. Let's go ahead and get us a window here. And call this one remote client one. And let's go ahead. Yes, we have success. All right, we are now back inside of client one. And we're now going to set client one up so all users will have access through remote desktop. So we're going to go here, we're going to right click, and we're going into systems. And I believe we are going into, yes, remote desktop. And we're going to scroll down and select user on the user accounts. And I believe we're going to add domain users. So we're going to add here. We see mydomain.com. I believe this is going to be domain space users. And we're going to check. Oh yeah, everything is adding up. And we are now have all of our domain users that will be set up within our domain controller. So that's done. And we can go ahead and close this for right now. As we are now going to, I believe we're going to get ready to run our script, if I'm not mistaken. If I look at my notes, I want to say I believe we are going to the next phase. Yes. We are now set to get ready to run our script. We're already logged into DC1 as Jane admin. So we're going to now go back to our domain controller. Go back to our domain controller, and we are now going to set ourselves up to, let's go ahead and minimize Active Directory for right now. And we're going to go ahead and run PowerShell and pull up PowerShell ISC or PowerShell_ICE, and we're going to run that as an administrator. So let's go ahead and type into our search bar. All right, PowerShell ISC, and we're going to run that as an administrator. Yes. All right. And so now we're about to get ourselves ready to run our script. So we're going to go ahead, and this one is going to be new. And we're going to change the name of this later on when we get ready to save everything. So in fact, we can do a save as for this right now. We're going to save this as create space users and click save. And we're going to go back to our Azure portal. And we're going to go right here and we're going to grab this script right here. And and as you can see, the password change, which is coming into play. So we're going to be creating these random users who will have access to the domain controller. So just go ahead and click copy. And we're going back here to our domain controller. And we are going to run our script right here. And our script is in. And as we said before, the password change, which is going to come into play when we log out of client one, we're going to log back in under my domain and whatever random user that's going to be on the employee list. So now that we have everything into play, you're going to come here and we're just going to click run script, and that should give us a lot of random users. So go ahead and hit run script. All right. We are now running our script. Excuse that little prompt that just happened a second ago. So as this is running, we're going to give this some time to let it run. I don't know if it's not going to create all 10,000 users or 1,000 users or however many users that it's going to be. But we know for sure that it's going to be a great deal of users at our disposal. So what you're going to do from here is we're going to go back to Active Directory users and computers. Let's go ahead and get us a refresh, and we're going to come down to our employees, and here we are. Every random user that's been ran underneath this script. So while this is doing, you can come here and just click save script. And that's going to save into our folder. So we're going to see exactly how many. We're going to go ahead and refresh and see how many that's been created thus far. Okay, our script is still running. Let's go ahead and hit a quick refresh. In fact, let's see if we're still recording. Okay, we're good to go. Let's go ahead and give ourselves a quick refresh. Okay. 2,000. Okay. We are broke even. So we're going to go ahead and let this run. In fact, as you can see, all of these users will have access to the domain controller. So all of our random users here. The next step is we're going to go ahead and we're going to log in with one of these random users inside of client one. So let's go ahead and get us one more refresh. All right. And if you want, what I'm going to do, we're going to go ahead and hit stop. We're going to hit stop right here, and we're going to find us a random user within. Let's see. How about, say, ban.hurry. We're gonna go ahead and do this one right here. Ban.hurry. So let's minimize this. Stay on our domain, keep our domain controller here. We're gonna go into client one and bring up client one. We're gonna sign out of client one and we're gonna log in under that ban.hurry character, which is within our random users. Let me make sure I get that spelled correctly. So let's go back within our Active Directory and yes, ban.hori. So let's go ahead and minimize this. We'll go back into our client one and let's go ahead and sign Jane out. All right. And we are going to log back in. I believe it was, give us this one here. Our most recent. All right. Let's change this. Different account. mydomain.com/ban.hori. And remember the password, you all. Password 1, so capital P, ASSWRD, and the number 1. And hit enter. And hit enter. And ban.hurry is now available to log in on the remote desktop. All right, we are now under ban.hurry under client 1, and this will come into play in the next part where we will be enabling the group policy, where we'll be now dealing with unlocking our accounts, where we will go in and try to log in through the random user ban.hurry with the wrong password and see if we can lock ourselves out of the account and be able to unlock the account, as well as set group policy, as well as be able to disable, re-enable the account, and observe the logs later on after we've done everything to set the policies in place. So with all that being said, we have installed and we have deployed Active Directory. We have created our organizational units. We have created our admin, Jane_admin. We have created our random users, and now we will be setting sail on the last phase, which would be now, of course, what we just the aforementioned of dealing with locking and unlocking our accounts and our observations and our group policies. So we're going to go ahead and slide to that. So we're going to see you on the other side.